Okay, so we're going over Rock You Like a Hurricane, and it's written by Herman Kloss and Rudolf Schenker, and starts off with the rhythm progression of E, and slide down from there, go to G, like that twice, and then A twice, and then C and D, like that, and we'll do it all together. And that's when the lead starts, which would be Matthias, and Rudolf did the rhythm part. And Rudolf Schenker is, if you don't know, or if you do, he's quite a good lead player as well. And it's just that Matthias did this lead work on Rock You Like a Hurricane. And so, we got E. It's E5. It's got E, B, and E, so it's E5. And we got G. I prefer to play G right here with without the third. And then A. And Rudolf, I've seen him play it, and he goes like this, and I've seen other people play it like this. And if you want to, I say go right ahead. Rock and roll has no rules, if I'm sure you've heard somebody say that. So, we'll move on. And this is good practice for a beginner. And maybe you want to play the chord progression, good chord progression like Rudolf Schenker does, which is... That's quite fine. Or play it the way that I do if you prefer. And we'll move on. And here's the lead. So we got E, drone, I guess you could call it. Not the one that flies, but this is specifically just an E note in sixteenths. And it's 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN, something like that. But here's how I think it in my head is. That's one, along with the chord progression. That's 2. That's 3. And then kind of cut that in half. And then go. I think it helps if you pick every note. And if you want to put in the passing tones, I think that works. But so it sounds like Matthias is playing all those notes, which is good. I play the notes. I don't hammer on too much. I like to get into the note, and instead of hammering and cheating, and kind of cheating. Yeah, so we're at that part, and then we're moving on. A to B to D right here, and we're moving on to do this. Kind of a hit, pull off, and attack. It's more of an attack. Kind of just feel it. You hear it in your head, so I'm sure you can get through this. But I'm just trying to explain. And here we go. But we do end up at D and B. And then we bend up at D to an E to get in the G with vibrato. And this is kind of where it sets it up to take it home to the faster part at the E minor scale, starting on the 19th fret. That's like 4. If you really want to get into it, then I kind of got this idea from Vivian Campbell. And I'm sure he got it from his guitar hero, whoever that is. But it's where you hit both strings as you're bending up. I think that's cool. But anyway, I'm moving on. And it kind of just play the minor pentatonic scale down. Till you get to the F. I think that's an F. No. Till you get to the G. And slide down. Okay, I hope you're with me so far, because we're moving on. And then, kind of fits into the theme of the song. Which is hitting octaves here at the 12th fret, which is the E right here and the G right here, and we're bending the G up to an E right here. Vibrato, and then we are going to play the scale down from there, and then slide on the B. I kind of like that about Matthias. He's actually playing the notes, which is what I do. I play the notes, but with my influence being George Lynch, you know, George doesn't play the notes so much. He hammers on and gets around like that. But Matthias is one of the players that sounds like he's playing the notes instead of hammering and pulling off. Bend and then slide down from that note. It's actually E, D, B, staying true to the intro lick, and then use the passing tones on your way down from here. and then slide down on the fifth string on the B note. And then land on a D. And then we'll go through the first verse. And we're up to the chorus. But what we got there is at the D right here, as you're ending the solo part, slide down. So it's C to E, C to E, D, C, C to D, and then it repeats. And then Matthias kicks in, I would assume. And right there in the D, and then we got the octaves. And we're moving on, and here is the chorus. And we'll go through the second verse. And we get the chorus, which the chorus is done 8 times, I think. 2 groups of 4, of course. But I just played it along with the band. When I played this with the band, and it's a feeling thing, and I didn't really count so much. It's just I could hear the singer, and I kind of went from there. But here's the chorus again. Actually, I think I counted. I kind of did keep track when I played with the band. How many times I would do this, and then anyway, however you do it, and however I did it, it all worked out because it worked well. But here we are. We just did the second chorus and extended it. I believe it goes 8 times. And here we are to the solo. So it's that trademark octave bend that a lot of people play, and it's not my favorite thing, but that's just my opinion. I have my reasons, and maybe someday I'll tell you. But anyway. The octaves. I think we got not me, but I think everybody else got this from Hendrix. So here we go. The solo is bending up here, like that, and then bending the G to the A. And I like to use the pick, and I think Matthias does. I saw, especially if you watch the video. Yeah, he's got his leg up, and he's... Okay, so we're at that part. Slide from the 12, 15 to 17. And slide down just like I did, like that. And that is B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, so bend up on the A, and then make your way down to the D on the 15th fret, 2nd string. It's actually easier just to play it than to actually kind of explain it sometimes. And maybe this is one of those cases. Okay, so if you're with me so far, we'll move on. And we're right here. And we just finished that phrase. And then we got this, which I'm sure you know. That's 14 and 14 on the B and G strings respectively. But I hit the G right here at the 12th fret, and I do this bend I think 3 times, or however much it works in the rhythm of the solo, which is a feeling thing. Music's a lot of feeling stuff. And from that G right there, yeah, get that squeal in there. It's G, G sharp, A. In this case, I would say A sharp, I guess, but it's A sharp, B flat, and we're on B. And then we got more back to the pentatonic, and it goes from this E so E, G, A, E, G, A, slide up to the B, and you got the D, E, and you're borrowing from a scale, and you go to, no, it's still, anyway. Right here at the E, and get the F sharp and move it down to a G, and then if you're right here, then it's like the D major scale right here, which is combined with the E minor scale, and well, actually, it's the Dorian from, well, E minor and the Dorian, because right here is the Dorian, and here you're getting an E minor kind of thing, unless you add in the other notes. But go through this slowly, and you'll see how it goes. That part. Okay. So after that, the D major part, then I do it the Dorian part and just head on up to the minor pentatonic. Up to that point, it's all half steps. Just hammering your way up to the top note. And but after that, get the D and or at the B and get the A and the G. So from here, from that G, then you got and slide down like that. It's that's A, and while it's still bent, strike the note at the 22nd fret, and then we're ready for the fast pentatonic lick here at the top. And that pretty much is, that is exactly just playing the scale fast as you can. Not too fast. Play it melodically, but play it with the feeling and intent that it's supposed to be. And from that point, then we got this, which is just kind of a passing tone, I would say. It's got the kind of a do the Hendrix kind of thing. I don't know if Matthias was influenced by Jimi Hendrix or not. I'm a fan of Matthias, but not as much as I am of other players, if that makes sense. But anyway, this is kind of like a Hendrix thing, which is a G and a D. Kind of a passing tone, as I said. And that's just playing the scale, which we're going D, E, G, A, B, and D. And from there, we'll see where we're at, because I have to go back to play this part from the faster minor pentatonic scale. Yeah, then just go back down. Slide down from the G, like that, and then that kind of reminds me of Randy Rhoads. Fun lick to play anyway. And then after this part, which is where you slid down from the G, it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then which is A, F sharp, and E. And from there, you are done with the solo and bringing it home to which is E, G, A, B, D, E, right there at E, like that. And it's slightly bend up at the ninth fret here, or use your tremolo, or even you could go from the D to the F sharp and do that. Something like that. Either way would work, whatever works for you. And as I said, it's more of a feeling thing. And whatever you prefer to do. Okay, with that being said, here we are, the breakdown, which is the snare part. Shh, it's early morning. Da 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 da. Okay, so that was the ending. The chorus goes on. Okay, so we go through the chorus, and we're gonna ending the song now. And since you know the chorus, here's the intricate part on this. Matthias is working his way to kind of gap everything together with repeating the guitar solos, such as things a bit, and that's kind of a clever move. And if you can do that in the song, I think it makes it better, or however you want to describe that. And so here we go. And the chorus, I think after twice, and then on the third time. Now, none of this is supposed to be specific rhythm. I'm showing the song, not the actual rhythmic part of the song. I hope you understand that, what I was trying to say. Okay, so here we go. After the chorus, then we got, you know that part. It is A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, right here at the E, which is referring back to the beginning kind of thing. That's what I meant to say. And here we go. A bend up like that, after you do that, like rhythmically from what I just did, to kind of referring back to the beginning of the guitar solo at the intro. And with that, then something like this, which I like that because it reminds me of Randy Rhoads. And so, do that, I believe it fills up a measure. And from there, which is, it's a typical blues lick. Bend up on the A, and get the B and the E. A, B, E, G, and bend up in the A. And bend up right there, which is the D to the E, and then do that mantic thing, and slide down like that, and this is the end of the song. Which is take the scale Kind of bend that A and slide down to the E, and then get to G, and from that G, well, the D, I don't know what I was thinking. Bend up in the D to the E, like in the other parts of the solo that this refers to, and then just go on back to the B note, and that's the end of the solo, and then that's the way I end it. So I'm gonna go with that, and that's the end of it, and I hope that works for you. The other thing I want to mention a few things is Monsters of Rock in 1988. If you weren't there, you missed a heck of a show, because that was a great show. And Matthias played his Strat, you know, the black and white one with the black humbucker and the original Floyd Rose. And from what I heard is that he had that done, and he had to leave his guitar. And I think it was Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he wanted to really get that Floyd Rose put in. And he might have been obviously the early ones with the early Floyd, along with the others that I've mentioned in the past. And so anyway, it was cool to see him play that guitar, because I like that black and white Stratocaster they played with the single humbucker, their Floyd Rose, and etc. So, and I saw him play the Explorer, the big Explorer, which right now, if you know him, he kind of cut that down a bit because he thought, this is awful big, I guess. And so the Explorer he plays now kind of fits him more. But I always like that white one with the black stripes. That's not my favorite. But it is cool. I like the black one with the yellow stripes. That was probably my favorite one that he played. And so, I don't recall him playing the black Strat, because that was his backup. And the Scorpions played all the hits up to that point, which was 1988. Is when they would have the Monsters of Rock. And it went Kingdom Come, Metallica, Dokken, and Scorpions, and then Van Halen. And with Kingdom Come, you get there first, and I'm upstage. And the cool thing about it is they gave us Gatorade, which, oh my gosh, that saved my life almost. Literally, probably, because so they would give us Gatorade, keep us hydrated. And then after that, I left for a bit, and I went back and checked out Metallica by the board in the middle of the field, and checked out Kirk played as Randy Rhoads, V. That was cool. I wasn't up front for Metallica until later. I went back, and then of course Dokken, and I was up front for George. He was right in front of me. He did the improv guitar solo right in front of me. Then he went over to the other side of the stage and did Mr. Scary, and then came back. So my view was right there on George. And then the Scorpions, I didn't see much. Matthias was on my side, but it's kind of a blur because I think Matthias was back farther. And then, of course, Van Halen. I got a great shot of being in front for Van Halen. And Edward, of course. And Sammy Hagar I saw, and Mike was on the other side of the stage. And so, by that time, of course, the headliner's on, so the Gatorade stops. And it is hot. And I think this was in June. And so, at this point, my ticket was drenched. I didn't have much of it left, if any. I had a little bit, but everything was gone. And the tickets, oh my gosh, is if I recall right, the tickets for Monsters of Rock in 1988, I think, I'm pretty sure it was 88. It was $60 if I remember correctly. And I thought, wow, that's not bad to see 5 bands and Van Halen. I mean, 4 bands and then Van Halen. Van Halen's obviously a great one. And so during Van Halen, I had to leave, get a big Coke, and then sit in the stands and watch Edward play. But yeah, the heat took its hit on me. So that's my little story of Matthias and the Scorpions and the Monsters of Rock, which was great. And without boring you anymore with my stories, I'll take a drink and say thanks for watching, and then play it out. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.